Alright. Yo, what's up? This is Germs from JERMZ Boxing, aka Germstradamus, the Boxing Prophet. Okay, right now I want to talk about the upcoming rematch between Victor Morales. Eric Morales fight, still lingering in my head. No, Victor Ortiz versus Berto, Andre Berto, okay? Damn, I was just thinking about the Morales fight, Eric Morales. That was pretty, the passing of the torch right there. But anyways, that was in my head, my bad. So anyways, yeah, the rematch. A lot of people think that it's gonna be like the same as the first one, and I think that's what's gonna happen. Pretty much it's gonna be, the first, like the same as the first one, a little easier for Ortiz though. Andre Berto. When Andre Berto first was coming out, I was actually on his, not his bandwagon, but I actually believed a lot in Andre Berto. He has the skills. He kind of reminded me of a young Shane Mosley at one point. He had that little style, the Mayweather style. He tries to emulate his style, but he's got a lot more pop in his punches at welterweight than Mayweather did. And Andre Berto is a monster body-wise. He's a good student, but this is the thing. After they canceled his fight with because of the whole Haiti earthquake, he had family there. I don't know what his relation was. I don't know how he was emotionally attached to that, but for some reason he hasn't been the same fighter ever since. He hasn't been the same fighter. When he came back, he kind of holds back a lot. There's a lot on Andre Berto's mind. I don't know if you notice it, but when I see any boxer fighting, I look at the body language. I look into their eyes. I look at the reaction when they get punched. I psychoanalyze them, I analyze them psychologically. So Andre Berto there's something that he lost. I think the animal inside of him kind of got tamed. He got tamed, and the first loss didn't help his case at all. His loss against Ortiz, especially after being a brutal war. The only reason I say that was a brutal war because I think Victor Ortiz had it easy, but because Victor Ortiz doesn't bob and weave. He stands straight up. He's a little too on the straight side, and Andre Berto dropped him those couple of times because of that. He doesn't move his head, If I were Ortiz, I would learn how to freaking move your head more. But he doesn't need it against Andre Berto. Why? Because lately, Andre Berto, when he's been fighting, he's been grappling all the time. His last 3 fights, he's been grappling and grappling. He gets tired quick. He wants to hug you. After 6 rounds, he's a little, he just doesn't lose. He loses his marbles. Okay. Victor Ortiz, being a natural right-handed guy standing in a southpaw position, his favorite combination is the right hook, right uppercut. The boom. And the thing is, when Andre Berto reaches in to hug you, that punch on the guy coming in with his arms in, boom, that's gonna catch Berto again. Because that's what happened in the first fight. That combination, boom. Berto wants to hug it, boom, he comes that uppercut. And it's going to be the same thing this time again. It's not going to be a round of the year, it's a fight of the year. It's not going to be, you're not going to see that big of an explosion as the first time. You're going to see a really mad Ortiz. Ortiz is mad because of the sucker punch by Mayweather he still gets flack for it. Now, one thing can happen. Him being from Mexican descent, it probably won't hurt his pride. If anything, it'll fuel him. There's some people that, life gets to you mentally, and you kind of change your ways in the ring. Jason Litzau comes into my mind. Jason Litzau, when he first was fighting, he was like a little young Arturo Gatti. I always say that, Arturo Gatti. Well, rest in peace. But anyways, he will go in their face first. You knock me out, or I knock you out. That was his mentality. And that is the reason why I always want to see an American boy fight. That's his name, American boy. You know what I'm saying? But Jason Litzau had that balls to the wall, this do or die, that kind of mentality. And when he got with his chick, and then he got the baby, and his whole persona changed. Even in the ring, then he turned into a boxer, safety first fighter. Not as much, you know what I mean, like animal in him, not much dog in him, not much of that. So life does change a boxer style. It does. You know what I mean? Sometimes for the better, sometimes for the worst. Babyface assassin Marco Antonio Barrera. At first he was a face first brawler Mexican, then turned into a technician, one of the most brilliant technicians. So there are some transitions that are positive, but there's a lot more that are negative. And in a fight like this, Andre Berto has to be the old Andre Berto if he wants to be competitive against Ortiz this fight. I really think, you see, when I see Andre Berto fight, I see him kind of like, like his heart's not in it anymore. Like he doesn't fight with everything. You know what I'm saying? It's just not in him anymore. Ortiz has no other choice. Ortiz has his history, has his past, raising up his brother. You know, he has a story behind him. Forever, he will have that shit in his head. Forever, he will have fire. He will have fuel for that. You know, but when you're a student who is trained to fight as opposed to born to fight, you know, mentally, if you're not an ace in fighting, period, in the street, if you're not an ace in your own game of fire control or anger control or whatever, if you can't control your mental state, it's gonna get the best of you. And in this case, I think it's gonna get the best of Andre Berto, and Ortiz is gonna take this one a lot more easier than last time. Okay, so yeah, for a minute I was I didn't have I was situated with the camera shit. Okay, so that's why I haven't been recording videos lately. For some reason, some program was missing. Every time I try to record, it said error. But I got it back, so it's all gravy. Suggest me more fights. There's not many fights out there that I'm trying to just I want to predict that I feel like, oh, I gotta do it. So remind me, you know, just let me know what you guys want to hear, what you guys want to listen to. I heard about W.Klitschko going up against Tony the Tiger Thompson again. Okay, mandatory. I mean, as long as not another Mormec, fine. Okay, whatever. I think it's a bullshit fight. I mean, not bullshit. I think because, you know, W.Klitschko knocked him out. A lot of people think that Tony the Tiger gave him problems. It wasn't problems. It was just awkward. Vladimir just needed to find his place. Shot him dead. Made him pillow himself to sleep. You know what I'm saying? I don't see not a big difference here. I think that W.Klitschko is gonna do the same thing, pawn with his jab. Pawn, you know, like the sniper, like he always is. He's always trying to find that right shot before he boom convicts everything, all his soul into that one freaking steel hammer of a punch, that cross, bam. Okay, so the second fight with W.Klitschko and Tony the Tiger is not gonna be as you know, as exciting as we all hope it is. You know, he might not get the knockout this time, but because he's southpaw, he might actually. Now that I think about it, he might, because Tony the Tiger, he likes to play possum. Tony, why possum? He likes to act. He likes to act more tired than he really is. I don't know why, but it does work for him. He kind of puts you into slumber. I don't know if you noticed it, but Tony the Tiger, he fights like a sloth, but that's his style. He kind of lulls you in to a fight, and then next you know, he hits you with some power. But it works with somebody else. It'll work with like shorter fighters, but against somebody like Vladimir, you're looking at another highlight knockout reel. Okay, so that's about it. This is JERMZ Boxing. Let me know what you guys want me to record next. I'll record another thing like in a couple of days. Just let me know which one you guys want me to base it on. Okay, so yeah, JERMZ Boxing. Want to listen? Got some music, and all these beats that I make are me. Yeah. Bada boom, bada bing. All right, peace.